What?
Cookies, little cookies on me.
Oh yeah, cookies on you?
I missed my mouth. It's so little.
Grandma. So I'm sitting here at Grandma Bok Bok, and we have the pleasure to hang out every day during this quarantine. But Grandma, when it comes to what's happening right now in the world, does it remind you of the Depression at all? And if so, can you just talk to me about that?
Yeah, it does remind me of the depression, but a lot of people that I know and my people, we shared. You shared a little bit of bread and you didn't throw it away. You didn't throw the hill away, the way they do now. But it was a time when I think we had bigger hearts for then because people didn't make a lot of money and they were working doubles, in order to bring food home and everything. My dad would come home so tired, and when he'd eat his dinner, and then he would go back to work, but he'd come and sit at the table and almost fall asleep. He was so tired, but he had to go back for that second job. It was a hard time, and this scares me because this puts me in mind of you were afraid to go out all the time, and we've had things so plentiful that it spoiled us. I don't know if we have the integrity to go on and prove that we can do it. But it's going to take a lot because we're a society now where we've been spoiled because we get everything we want. We find a way to get things. But years ago you didn't. I used to have a wishing. I sat in my rocking chair and tell Grandma, my mom, that I wish I had $100. And she said, go ahead and wish. Because we didn't have 10 cents, I don't think. But we made it because we loved each other and we shared.
So do you think that that would be your word of advice to the world right now, perhaps, is just to share and love one another?
Just to make an effort and be there for somebody. If they even just the idea of coming in and saying hello and putting your arm around somebody. There's a lot of lonely people, and especially when you get older. And I'm lucky I got Justin. He's a little bit like me, little presumptuous. What do you call it? Presumptuous? He jumps at things, but Justin can find something funny out of life too. And that's what I used to do when I was little. I had a rocking chair, and my mom would be crying, and I'd get up and tap dance for her. And that's what we need. Life gets heavy and kind of hardened from things when you've been hurt so much. But we all shared. We learned to share. You didn't take the last piece of bread, because you didn't know if your sister was hungry, but they're more selfish now. But I think in a way, I don't want to see anybody starve, but in a way, I think this generation needs to be uh, a little compassionate for somebody else. It's not the big you and the little, you know, the big me and the little you.
It's all as one.
Yeah, it's just exactly share. That's the word we need, share.
So, taking everything that you've been watching on TV in regards to this virus going around the world, and where you grew up in the Depression, being born at 1930 and turning 90 years old this year, what would you like to say to everyone in regards to your wisdom? Would you share a message with everyone real quick, please, Grandma?
Well, the biggest thing about it is God. I would go to the Church of the Nazarene and they'd sing. My mom was Catholic, but I would go down to the Church of the Nazarene and they'd do all the hooping and hollering. But it got me so stirred up for God that I tried not to be mean, but I always had a temper. And if I saw something wrong, I'd tell them. My mom used to say you ought to be ashamed of yourself. You're too verbal, you know. But that's okay because I've been verbal all my life, and and that's better than being a snake, you know. But if I see somebody need something, I couldn't eat myself if I knew they were hungry. So
So what's your message to everyone else with your wisdom?
slow down and be compassionate with everybody, because somebody's hurting. Even you think they're mean, but they're hurting, and you don't know what lays on their heart, but God does. You know, that's the biggest thing in your life is God and our Jesus. You know, to be compassionate and don't think you're better than anybody else, because we're all nuts. That's just how I feel about it. Everybody's crazy in some way, especially me.
Well, I appreciate all that, Grandma, and I'm sure everyone else will too. I love you so much.
I love you too, Justin. You got a lot of grandma in you. You know that, don't you?
Sure do.
Don't you? You can be mad one day and put your arms around them the next.
We have to learn how to laugh it off, you
Are
know?
we mixed up? I think I'm a Gemini. You are too, though.
Yeah,
You're a
we're both
Gemini. Yeah, no
Geminis.
wonder
Yeah.
we get along so good, you know?
A nice balance there.
Yeah.
Well, I love you, Grandma.
I love